Hey, good morning, guys. It is December 29th. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because I was just bemoaning the fact that I don't have a home right now. I'm just kind of wandering around and I don't have internet at my new building, and oh, woe is me, poor thing. I'm just kind of doing this wherever I can. So, anyway, all that said, I just find a place to set up wherever I can and do it. Um, Foxes have holes and birds have nests, or I can't remember the exact scripture, but the Son of Man has no place to lay his head. And I think, yeah, learning a lesson about being uncomfortable um, and nomadic, it's a good thing. I was just listening to a podcast about a guy who crossed the Atlantic in a kayak and then the Pacific in a kayak. He did both. And he said they were talking about just this doing really tough things. And I think it's a really good spiritual thing too, to do hard things. Um, it's a good spiritual practice. And the scripture for today, John 6:66, which is interesting. It's is the number of man. It's the man of sin. Um, is men who can't grasp the spiritual and only see the physical. So when Jesus says, "Unless you eat my flesh and drink my blood, you have no part of me," they can't see past what's in front of them. They can only see the flesh in front of them, and so the teaching becomes uh, a point of not just contention, but of revulsion to them. And they decide, and it says from that time, many of his disciples went back and walked no more with him. That's John 6:66. They couldn't see the spiritual truth that Jesus was telling them. They could only see and hear what he was saying in the current kind of temporal reality. Chambers takes this and talks about when God reveals truth to us through Scripture. First of all, a couple things. We have to do something with it. We either have to act on it or reject it. When we reject it, we obviously head the wrong direction down that path. And um, the other thing, too, is that God reveals different things at different times, not different truth. The truth of Scripture, the truth of the gospel is the same, but the things he calls each one of us to, the way he calls us, the way he teaches us is different. And so Chambers is kind of clarifying for us that when God pricks our hearts and really kind of reveals something to us, we have to act on it. Disobedience, he says, disobedience in mind to the heavenly vision, which will make you a slave to points of view that are alien to Jesus Christ. So if we're not obedient to that tugging that he does, we become slaves to unchrist-like points of view. You have to walk in the light of the vision that has been given to you and not compare yourself with others or judge them. That is between them and God. And so this idea that I answer for me and God speaks to me, and this is a real comfort in all honesty. God speaks to me personally. I'm not part of a group of people that he speaks to and says, while we're supposed to be united, by the way, the church is supposed to be united in vision and in even in calling to some extent. There's individual callings and individual kind of beckonings that he does, and that's between us and God, and we need to make sure that we don't get too wrapped up in, well, what about him? I remember the scripture not too long ago where Peter says, well, what about John? And Jesus says, don't you worry about John. I'm not talking to John, I'm talking to you. A little further down, he says, if there's one standard in the New Testament revealed by the light of God, and you do not come up to it, meaning like step up to the line and do something with it, and do not feel inclined to come up to it, that is the beginning of backsliding. Because it means your conscience does not answer to the truth. I think about it like if I'm I remember marathon training, and if there was a day where I didn't check the box and do the thing that I was supposed to do that day, I not only didn't advance in my training, I actually went backwards in my training. When I didn't do the thing that I was supposed to do, not only it wasn't just a stationary point. I not only didn't get better, I got worse. Um, he says, because it means your conscience does not answer to the truth. You can never be the same after the unveiling of truth. The moment marks you for going on as a more true disciple of Jesus Christ, or for going back as a deserter. And so, yeah, the encouragement today would be, just be very wary of um, ignoring the truth or the lessons that God teaches us. And then that really hard kind of John 6 teaching that Jesus, and obviously he did it to divide. He did it, he that teaching of blood and flesh, eat my flesh and drink my blood. He was dividing. He was dividing those who were serious and those who weren't. So it's a challenge to me. I think, what is God teaching me? What line is He drawing in front of me for me to step up to? And if I'm not, am I receding? Am I regressing? Anyway, you guys have an awesome day.